Right, we are now into the actual game. Will we see an invade and from what team? You know that the Invictus in general like to 5 point, and it looks like they're going to start very early on that 5 point. Ruin Kings also doesn't look to be an invade from either side particularly. We may see some early wards placed just for vision to make sure that there's
Camera,
nothing.
go. There you go.
Do see 5 men of Ruin Kings in the top lane, in the jungle bushes there, and they are looking to invade onto Ozinox. Ozinox is able to see them pretty early, and he has to flash. I think he would have been okay, but you never know with that Naught hook. You just never know.
Yeah, truly.
That is the Kha'Zix flash down very, very early.
Well, they are still looking about, but it doesn't. I don't imagine they're gonna get much more. Looks like they might just go to their red buff and be done with it.
Yeah. And Ruin Kings are seen on a ward right now, but they are looking to collapse a very late invade onto Enix and Eris. They are looking to go for this as well. Ozinox, they are literally standing next to each other. Captain Fast does water. Ozinox has been found. Luke Caruana in trouble, gets hooked by Eris Dream. The Ignite comes down as well. We see Davis is coming out from the bot lane. He is needing to be very careful. The heal comes out as well already. Eris Dream might need to flash out here as well. He does have flash. He might need to. He unfortunately cannot because he's rooted and stunned out by Captain Fast. The first blood goes to the Morgana. A really interesting, very late invade. But it's working out for Ruin Kings.
Yeah, for sure. That was a extremely late invade from the play in top lane. Made Kha'Zix burn his flash early, so he didn't have it for the early skirmish. And not getting the buff, but getting a kill is enough out of that invade. Just go back and take your buff. And Morgana's clear so quick anyway, so like whatever. And you know, you get your team a nice little early bonus from it.
Yeah. I mean, you see a lot of damage, a lot of poke damage coming out from that Xerath, but that's all that Xerath does. Poke, and even more poke. Does have to be careful for running out of mana. Xerath in the early game is very mana dependent, particularly if he can't land an auto onto Davis as well for that mana regen. Davis does have to be careful, probably needs to use as many pots as he can to stay in this lane.
For sure. Across the board, seeing Volibear going for some trades top. Lots of trading from the laners. Both seem to be, Ruin King seem to be playing really aggressive onto being Invictus in both top and mid, pushing them in and going for these plays in them. But the CS is still about even right now for both lanes.
And Davis is just getting poked out, but Hans has to be careful. He has currently no mana at all. He does have flash, so should be okay to get out of this. But with very little mana and now very little health, probably has to be very careful about staying in that mid lane. Galungle is stunned up and a lot of damage coming out from MDib. I don't think Shen minds too much. He can regen a lot of that with the Doran shield and just passive healing anyway. Hans dealing a lot of damage. The return gank as well. If we're going to see it, Feb taking a decent amount of damage from that Cogmore W extra range. We see Kha'Zix posturing him out around mid, still trying to keep Hans away from that mid lane as long as possible, just to avoid any amount of CS going the way of Hans. You know, Vince. So with 4 minutes, the first blood obviously still in favour for Ruin Kings. The lead hasn't grown from that, though. It's still only 400, just about 500 gold. We do see Ozinox. He is already seen, I think, by Captain Fast. He was just far enough up to see that Kha'Zix coming down.
That is one of the best Cogmore skins, though, I do have to say.
Oh, for sure.
Look at that, dude. He's purple, fucking B. Cogmore has I like his Arcanus one as well. He does have quite a few good skins recently. So that's why I was tempted to play him for a bit, because he had some better skins, and I was like, you know, it looks kind of cool now.
Yeah. We do love our baby Void Spawn. What a cutie. Can't wait to meet his dad if he ever gets put into league.
Oh, I just looked at the CS in mid though. Oh, as we maybe see just going wide. Glungly going for a true top as well, though. Ooh, more action down
A
bottom.
fight. Captain Fast is doing a decent amount. The roots coming out on Eris Dream, who still, I don't think, he does have everything up. Enix has to be a little bit careful. He is slowed up. Is he going to get rooted down? Captain Fast is getting very low. He does have Ignite burning on him. Enix does manage to get the final auto pretty much max range, and Captain Fast goes down. Not the trade Ruining Kings would want there. And Eris Dream might be looking to play very aggressive now. We have a Jinx with not much mana, not much health. I mean, they do have to be careful. The poke from Hans is pretty impressive right now. And Davos has to be so careful. This is where you really needed the phase rush. He gets rooted up. He's so dead. Phase rush. Yeah.
Wait, Zareth has Ghost?
I didn't see that, but apparently so.
I didn't see Zareth had Ghost. What? This man just ghosted.
I mean, he's an ethereal being at this point, I guess. So, kind of makes sense, I think. But yeah, the ghost breathing's very powerful, and I think you were about to mention the CS difference in mid, which I think at one point was about 15.
It was, and now it's not.
Yeah, it's now reduced back down to 3, but the kill coming in there, and we do see Morgana, who's just so strong right now, already able to pick up a dragon completely uncontested, solo as well. Galungulate and MDib fighting back and forth. When Volley has that passive stacked up, he is such a danger to fight against. A huge amount of magic damage coming out from a mainly AD champ, I think. I know I don't really play Volibear. I think he's mainly AD.
No, he's AP, dude. Volibear's AP.
He's AP? I don't know.
That's why fucking Yuri builds Nash's Tooth on it.
Yes.
Because it's AP.
Yeah, what an interesting champ new Volley is. We see Davos trying to land that long-range poke, but isn't quite able to. And Rift Herald is going to spawn very, very soon now, 45 seconds. Dragon has already been taken bot lane, so the next objective will almost certainly be Rift Herald in that top lane. Galungulate has to be a little bit careful. Caruana is coming. He has to be very careful. I think he still has taunts, so he'll be able to get out nice and easily. Enix and Eris getting slightly poked on. A huge hook from Eris Dream. Captain Fast is going to take a decent amount of poke damage if Enix can land any more autos. Ozinox is not seen on a ward. Feb is playing very, very high up. And there is going to be flashes galore for sure. Captain
TP
Fast
coming in.
Stand up. Ozinox is, I think, going to be able to pick up the kill. The kill goes to Enix. The flash stun doesn't quite land, but I think Ozinox will be able to get one kill. Galungulate does slay Feb. The Zerathol is pretty huge, but Dabis is stunned under turret. MDib, I think, is going to go down as well. It's going to be very close. Enix has to be pretty careful now. Hans is here as well. The stun going on Galungulate. Eris now, Hans is able to just take a lot of poke damage from Enix.
Enix is just fucking...
still have a lot of mana.
He's just going in.
Still has enough. He's not level 6. It doesn't have that execute damage, essentially, from his ultimate. In all of that, I don't really know who gets the advantage, but it definitely now goes to Ruin Kings. The snipe, the Mega Death Rocket, Super Mega Death Rocket lands from the Jinx, and that is definitely now in the favour of Ruin Kings. Eris, though, is coming in on Hans. Is it going to land? It's not quite. Hans gets out on 50 health, if that. Ridiculously close.
Enix needs to be careful here. Trap's coming out. Nautilus can just order you in tower.
Nautilus, he's going to be rooted up for a long time there. The root and the hooks come in. It's not enough to save him. Airstream has to be very careful as well now that he doesn't get stunned up. Ozinox gets stunned up as the Lantern has already been pushed as well. Eris and Ozinox need to get out as quickly as possible. Another root is going to come. It does miss. It splits the goalpost. Airstream, I don't think is enough to get out. The ultimate of Captain Fast is enough to get him down. The depth charge does take Eris down. Lots of action. Very, very quickly. And it's going to continue. Davos is going to get rooted up. Luke Caruana is relatively low, but it is Morgana, so he's probably going to get lots more health because randomly Enix is behind a huge 2-man ult. Ozinox does slay Luke Caruana. Captain Fast is going to go down. Feb is going to go down as well. Ruin Kings possibly playing a little bit too far. And that is now 7 and 6. Whew, lots happen, lots to talk about. The main thing is Ruin Kings possibly overstaying their welcome within the Invictus jungle.
Yeah, for sure. Oh God, get
We
noise off
see
the action.
Hands is going to be killed, I think, as well. Ozinox is going to be able to get Hands. He does a huge shutdown as well. And I mean, it's now 20 CS lead and a kill there in the mid lane.
Yeah, for sure. This is a slight gold lead bubbling now for Big here. It seems that Ruin Kings kind of built this, like, won these small little fights there, and then they kind of overextended and didn't really reset and got anything. So then, Big got back.
Oh, yeah, MDiv is nearly down there as well. Does get out to safety. I mean, just about surviving there, having to use his ultimate defensively to survive.
Do you want to know something that I saw as well? In the fight where Ori got the shockwave on 2, she actually pulled them far enough back so that Ozzy was able to get the isolated damage on the Q to kill, I think.
Oh.
Well, it at least helped for sure. It was quite fun. So
yeah,
that was quite cool.
In terms of platings, no team has really been able to push their lane far enough to get any. I think we still, 11 minutes in, have only seen a single plating go down. Another one just down now. 1-for-1 for both Ruin Kings and the Invictus.
Oh, Dragon, be careful here.
Yeah, the Cloud Dragon is up, and I think it's going to be able to be taken completely uncontested. The Jinx jumpers coming down there. You love to see the Odyssey ones are obviously Malphites, just mini Malphites. They go down. There's no way the Invictus could contest. That is 2 dragons to 0 for Ruin Kings.
Mountain Soul.
Yeah, Mountain Soul on some pretty tanky champions when you think about Nautilus and Volibear, who I'm pretty sure currently is going tank. Yeah, he's got actually going a very tanky build. That could spell trouble if Ruin Kings are able to get those 4 dragons in a row.
Yeah, it's like we're talking about the slight gold lead that the Invictus has, but Ruin Kings do have 2 Drakes on them. It depends if you value 1k gold or 2 more Drakes in the early game at this rate. And I think it goes slightly to the 2 Drakes. I think having that pressure already is really helpful. It allows you to kind of dictate the flow of a game a bit more than a 1k gold lead does.
Yeah, for sure. Captain Fast does have the, I can't remember what you call it, but the weird flash. Error Stream is just going to get absolutely cucked. And he goes down to the Jinx Rocket. Captain Fast does go down as well.
The hook's done.
The depth charge is going down. I don't think Enix wins this. He might actually just... But no, the Xerath ult comes down. Hands does slay Enix. Even with, I think, the shielding from the Shen'el. Ozinox does manage to pick up Feb, who is running as fast as Jinx can, but not fast enough. And we do see Luke Harawana having to be pretty careful. Does not have the Xerath anywhere near, and Xerath does not have ult as well, so Luke has to get out as quickly as possible. Will not be able to contest this scuttle, I don't think. He may try to, but he does and gets it very cleanly.
Yeah, nice. We'll see more trades in top though. Oh, MDib is nearly dead.
This would have been a solo kill as well for the Shen. It's pretty even right now in terms of, well, the top lane is almost exactly even when you look at it. There's definitely a jungle advantage for Ruin Kings, but you look at the mid lane difference in terms of CS.
Yeah, but in CS alone, but Kha'Zix has 2 more kills and 2 assists.
Yeah, that is true. You look at the mid lane though. Xerath obviously with a couple more kills, but 114 to 82. Galungulate is going to get stunned up, rooted up. I think he goes down here. I don't think he might be able to get out. He does have flash. MDiv is going to ult in and does get the kill on Galungulate, the first solo kill in the top lane, I believe. And that might put a decent amount of pressure on that Rift Herald. Ozinox's Kha'Zix is bot lane. If Ruin Kings do know this, Enix is going to get flash queued by Captain Fast. He might go down to the Xerath ult. Feb is going to go down to the Cogmore passive. Ozinox does actually manage to pick it up. Captain Fast is very low as well, does manage to get the hook. Ozinox has to be careful himself now. Ozinox very low with Xerath, who has Ghost. I love the fact that Xerath has Ghost. Ozinox going to go in nearly.
Oh, the hook nearly landing.
One shot and the hook of Captain Fast. Huge hook. Hans is going to go down to the Shen. Airstream is alive. Didn't go down to MDib. Big TPs from absolutely everyone on the map.
And now
Gonna
Dabus is
have to be
here.
careful though. Yeah, this is just fight after fight after fight. There is no break. The Jinx rocket coming back, trying to see if they can land on the respawning Eris, and it does, but it's not enough. I
Oh.
really like the ingenuity there to know that Eris was going to be respawning and was low enough. I think if he had respawned exactly at the time of the Jinx rocket getting into base, possibly could have gone down. I really like the ingenuity of Feb to realise that. Whew. And in all of that, I think that it was 4 kills apiece, I'm pretty sure. Possibly 3 to 4 for the Invictus, actually. Whew. Exciting game so far. 15 minutes in, and Airstream is going to get rooted up, stunned up. The Dark Binding and the ultimate of Luke Carawan are going to be enough, I think, to take him down. Feb gets the kill and is able to get excited. I think the right play, just get out of there. You cannot do anything with this. And that's going to be another scuttle going the way of the Invictus. The huge double ult of MDib. I don't think he's got enough, though. He does go down to Gunugulate and Ozinox in the top lane.
Yes.
Ozinox may look for this Rift Herald.
The Kazakh's 5-2 here, doing exactly what we're talking about. Managing to pick off. He's even killing a lot of the time a Nautilus or a Volleyball. He's able to get these kills that are really allowing him to become this really threatening assassin to all of the carries that kind of just almost get one-shot by him now if they're ever caught alone.
Yeah, we do see a third dragon go completely uncontested to Ruin Kings. We see Kha'Zix picking up the Rift Herald in the top lane, at the very least, as kind of a consolation. But that is now 3 dragons at 17 minutes. The next dragon is Soul, and that's really, really strong. We do see hands of both the... Dab is missing the shockwave. We see Luke Caruana and hands. They've got to be careful now. If Eris does land a hook, it goes wide. Everything going wide there. No stuns or hooks landed. Another Morgana Dark Binding just whiffing the target. But we do see the Rift Herald being put down in the mid lane. I think this will be the first. This will be the first turret going down in the mid lane. We may be able to see a second charge if they want to be able to push it, but I think the Invictus will let that go. First turret goes to the Invictus, nice and easy.
Yeah, we're seeing these little skirmishes break out everywhere, but everyone just kind of whiffing the skill shots and walking back and being like, alright, we'll just get bot turret instead, and the Invictus still slightly at gold lead, but nothing really worth mentioning when the Ruin Kings now is on Soul Point. They know that there's a time now in the next team fight, because if they don't fight at the next team fight a Drake, then they give up Soul for free.
Yeah. We haven't really had much time to discuss the events of what's happened so far, but looking to that next team fight, are the Invictus in a scenario where they can 5v5? Do you think?
Yeah, I think for sure they're in a situation where they can 5v5. They have a, as we say, slight gold lead, even if it is slight. So they're definitely at least on even with them. As long as they play the team fight better, as long as they can outplay their opponents, then I imagine if like Kha'Zix gets onto Jinx or it would pick off Morgana really early so they don't have Smite or something like that, it can really sway this team fight in their favour.
Yeah, for sure. So 3 minutes till the next dragon, and we have a minute until Baron Nashor spawns as well. This is the big thing, that having 3 dragons means you, as you said previously, it can pressurize the map so much more. Ruin Kings can leave that dragon open, rotate to Baron if they want to give up 1 dragon for Baron, and they can do that multiple times if needs be, or they just give up Baron and get Soul. They're in a very powerful position for that in that next big objective fight. And we see the Ruin Kings really pushing into the Invictus jungle. Ozinox caught on a ward, but was able to escape that Dark Binding. And now Luke Caruana, I think, has to be pretty careful. He is rooted up by Aerostream. Ozinox gets the isolated Q damage. It's not quite enough to send Luke Caruana back to base.
Jumped in a bit.
It is pretty low. Aerostream is low. I don't think he's quite going to go down to the Zerathol. He does, though. MDib is really low. Galungulate is able to tank up a lot. Luke Caruana is going to go down here as well. The double kill for Enix. Davits is very low. We see a triple kill go for Enix. Feb is now excited. Has to be... Invictus has to be so careful. The amount of splash damage that Feb can do here. Ozinox, he does land the slow on Feb. And, the huge flash to get away from Galungulate, but it's not enough. Enix
did snipe.
Quadra kill. Yeah, essentially, an unofficial quadra there for Enix. And that is what we want to see from both sides. Some really interesting team fighting there. A lot of skirmishes. I think Ruin Kings were slightly split up there, which is why Invictus were able to just get in with the Thresh and Kha'Zix and cause a lot of trouble in that fight.
Yeah, really using their positioning well to use the Thresh hook to get the Kha'Zix isolated damage on the hook target as they were dragged away, meaning that they come into that team fight with a big advantage. Fed played it best they could, but unfortunately Enix is the American sniper Kokomo, and he doesn't miss. So he picked up hit a lot of snipes there and picked up a lot of kills for himself. So now you got Kokomo has got quite a fat pocket. He's got a lot of items at this point, two complete items and boots, and he's also got a no magic mantle as well. A few extra bits in there as well, but 8 and 3 Cogmore right now is pretty big.
You can assume that Null Magic Mantle will go into a QSS very soon, which is definitely a key pickup when you're against a Nautilus. Huge amounts of point and click CC from that champion. And we now see both teams posturing around Dragon. Captain Fast, I think, is not where he wants to be. The ult coming down on Captain Fast. Enix is really low, taken down by Fast, and that is him down. Captain Fast is slain as well. Hans does get Airstream as well. MDib is down as well. Luke Caruana, everyone is down. Feb is no longer get excited. No longer has his passive. Goes down as well, and that is 4 for 2 in the favour of Invictus, and barring a huge Xerath steal, this will be the first dragon for Invictus. Hans is on the side. Glunga has to be careful. He is really low and doesn't have enough magic resist right now. Ozinox looking for Hans, but I don't think he can. And that is the first dragon for Invictus and a big team fight along with it.
Yeah, they're kind of doing what they need to do, so they're forced to team fight at Dragon if Invictus, Ruin Kings won't go for sole point, so they have to go for it. And then if they just win the team fights, it's okay. But they won the team fight this time. After if they can keep using these team fight wins as gold leads and pushing it forwards on the map, then it means that they're able to push their advantage much further and able to get these streaks easier because they push the map out more.
Yeah. 23 minutes in, and the gold lead is definitely Invictus favoured, but it's still not huge. It's just under 41 to 37k gold, so it's still relatively
37k? Close. Oh my word.
Yes. Yeah, it's still
huge. They've got a 37k gold lead.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So Luke Caruana is unfortunately missing that Dark Binding. Hands though with the poke that just goes slightly wide. Both teams have some pretty intense poke, but I think Ruin Kings definitely win the poke war of attrition there. Ozinox is currently spotted on the ward, has to be careful if Ruin Kings take him on the side there. It looks to be currently a bit of an ARAM. We have Galungulate and MDib. They're going to fight in the bot lane, but we see a huge fight. Captain Fast does go down. He does manage to slay Davis in the process. Ozinox has to be careful he doesn't get rooted by the Jinxie. He is invis. The Dark Binding, everything going wide currently. 1-for-1, both supports. The mid lane of Invictus. A huge hook onto Feb. The Black Shield possibly enough to keep him alive, and Aerostream is going to go down in return. The Black Shield is such a huge thing in terms of team fights. It just is able to keep someone alive. Enix is now rooted, and it's rooted in for such a long time. The Shenol might be enough to keep him alive during those. Feb goes down. MDib might be able to pick up one, but he goes down in return, and so does Hans. Ozinox able to pick him up as well. So much team fighting going on. We see, I think it's Dav is TPing for this Baron, and I'm pretty sure they can do it. They are seen on a pink ward, but 3 members of the Invictus are up, and currently, I mean, it's only the Nautilus, it's only Captain Fast up. I don't think you can do anything about this. So this could be a free Baron for the Invictus.
Yeah, I think Enix doing a really good job there. They're getting really greedy for Enix as he's super fed and a hard carry for the team. But them really overcommitting, putting themselves out of position, and then just getting collapsed on. Nice by Enix to know to just push forward when he had that shield and stuff. He didn't run away. He held forward, all attacking, getting the life steal. Imagine put out a lot of damage before he eventually fell, but they were able to take the team fight because of it. We did see that he did pick up a Wit's End now as well. That's a Wit's End, right? I don't get all the new icons.
Yeah, I was just going to comment. I think the Wit's End is a really good pickup, a clever pickup by Enix there. You've got huge amounts of AP damage coming out from the Morgana and Xerath, and that MR is so useful in just staying alive enough. And Immortal Shield Bow as well, staying alive against that poke is absolutely key. I also have to give definitely a shout out to Galungulate there in that team fight, doing enough to turn that around, which looked like a bit of a shaky fight for the Invictus at the start there, and the Shen ult proving absolutely vital.
Enix picking himself up a nice little red buff, making sure that there's Cogmore, it's pretty fed Cogmore, can get a bit more extra damage in the team fights. This top tower is very low, it could go down at any point. If MDiv tries to hold it, this could be very dangerous for him.
Yeah. So the Invictus currently have top and bot prio. We see another turret go in the favour of the Invictus, 3-1 currently. Luke Caruana getting poked out pretty hard. And we have how long until the next dragon?
The next dragon is 33 seconds.
Yeah. 33 seconds. So it's not a very long time until that comes up. We do see what looks to be both teams posturing around the mid lane. Davis is quite low. The Xerath ult is going to find a couple of targets. Ozinox is nearly taking Luke Caruana. Eris Dream nearly hooking Feb as well. The hook does go slightly wide.
What was her HP?
Ooh,
I couldn't find it.
I mean, practically no more than 100, I think.
Jeez, and this will really low HP.
This will be the second Mountain Dragon for the Invictus. We did say how much pressure having 3 dragons puts around the map, but the Invictus saying, we don't care, we're going to get all 4 in a row.
Yeah, it's what we're talking about as well, with how if they keep getting these drakes, they can push out. You see how their visions started pushing forwards through the jungle now as well, the control wards in their jungle, and they've played the map so that the dragon's behind them, so it's much easier for them to get these drakes than it is for Ruin King to be able to push into them, and that's really important in these team fights, and how they're managing to secure these much easier than it would be otherwise, if they were still on the 50-50 map.
We see, what, 5 wards, 3 of which are pink wards, just around the dragon area. We see Hans ghosting as Xerath for Enix there. Still not quite sure about the ghost pickup there. But, I mean, I guess it worked for the first plus. And 28 minutes 30 in. The Invictus do have a hefty gold lead now, 9k, just under 9k gold lead now. Baron is going to be up in 2 minutes 30, and Mountain Dragon as well, 3 minutes 40. So currently not much to play for in the map. We do see MDiv is possibly playing a little bit too far up if the Invictus wanted to go for that. They don't. So we might just see a little bit of relaxation time, both teams focusing on farming, trying to get a couple more items before the next objectives get onto the map.
Yeah, we see Volley picking up a Spectre's cow as well now, so he's gonna be a little bit more resistant to this magic damage that's coming through to him. And he also gets the extra healing on the small line for it as well, doesn't it?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
It does, yes.
I also want to just say that Xerath has picked up Horizon Focus, which is kind of one of the best items on Xerath, because I think all of his abilities are at that over 700 range. And obviously several, I think, sorry, his stun is immobilizing, so we'll be able to get that extra damage as well. We see Shen taking the Krug's bot lane. Not much of that Ruin Kings can do about that. Davis doesn't have much mana. Is going to get rooted, but did have the Banshee's Veil to stop that root, and is able to get Command Shockwave off, keeping hands relatively low. Enix is rooted up, has to use his stopwatch and just able to get out because of that Thresh Lantern. Could have been really dicey for Enix if he didn't have that stopwatch or the Thresh Lantern to get him out of that situation.
Yeah, it's both teams blundering a bit. Hans had to burn his flash. Dabis's shockwave is already halfway nearly up. So
well, Enix, you're pushing quite far up there. Ozinox is under turret, going for the Morgana, nearly getting him, but nearly dying in return. Has to go as far back as possible because he knows MDiv is coming because of that pink ward. The Jinx ult just goes right through the outpost, misses both Enix, and Ozinox doesn't quite hit either. And the Invictus are able to just back nice and safely. All of their lanes are pushing up, so they can freely back and reset.
For sure, we're seeing the basically the teams were just as you were doing, saying farming up before the objectives came up, but now that time is kind of up. They were playing a bit aggressively in mid, see if they could get that tower. It just didn't go down. It's on very low HP, but now that Baron's up, it seems that the teams are kind of pushing towards there, and they're gonna looking for to get the priority vision around it. So if they can win a team fight, or if they can sneak it away, then they can start this objective that can really turn the team. But they've only got 50 seconds before Drake comes up, so they're kind of on a timer if they want to do it now.
Yeah, for sure. And you kind of have to think the Invictus are definitely in the driver's seat for this dragon. They have so much more vision scouted. They have all of their waves pushing up, or are able to be in the position to get to those waves. Gunglade could be in a bit of trouble if he is rooted, but at the same time, I think he's 2 levels up against his opponent, against MDiv, and I think he'll be fine to get out, even with all of the stuns that come out. He is having to taunt Luke Arowana. I mean, look how tanky he is, though. Even against
it's just 1v5
for a long time.
So they just get Baron.
Free Baron.
But it does mean that it's a 4v5 for Drake, and they've got to get there quickly.
Yeah.
It might go down.
And I think Ruin Kings have enough damage to just instantly burst this down before the Invictus can even get in range. Ozinox is going as far forward as he can, but he doesn't quite get it. The Mountain Soul does go to Ruin Kings. Ozinox is down. MDiv as well, though. Eris is going to go down. Captain Fast is as well. Feb has to be very careful. He is quite low. Davis does have... you don't chase an Orianna because the amount of turnaround with Orianna Ball is pretty impressive. Again, the Jinx rocket just going between Enix and Davis. I don't think it would have picked up a kill anyway, but it's still enough to make the Invictus feel a little bit more worried about staying that low.
We've got Mountain Soul now for Ruin Kings, which is a big pickup for them. The game was kind of falling away from them a little bit, and it was struggling to get these Drakes, but because Invictus decided to go for the Baron call, and Golungale got caught off in the bot lane, it meant that they were able to get the dragon that they needed to get for Soul, which was the power of having 3 of them. They only need one opportunity, and they have Soul, and now we're going to see what they can do with that. Even if Invictus still do have a decent gold lead, it's now much more even, I think, with this Mountain Soul pickup.
So what you're saying is they had one shot, one opportunity?
Exactly.
Yeah. Got to get some M&M when you can. So, and both teams are coming up to relatively near full builds. We're seeing Rabadon's Death Cap nearly finished for the Orianna, and we're seeing some Infinity Edge, Gale Force, Serpent's Fang for Jinx. Both teams are relatively near their full builds. Eris possibly doesn't want to stay that far up. Does obviously have Golungale and Davis there if needs be, but has to be careful it doesn't get collapsed on.
Oh my god. Golungale's level 18, by the way.
Yes, I was just going to say that is a very tanky Shen right now.
He has 6 levels on his support, F.
Yeah. Captain Fast just leveling up to 13, I think, right there. And, I mean, MTib is only level 16. He's 2 levels above his lane opponent. And I think people always underestimate just how much levels can affect your ability to win a fight. Levels actually are a huge amount of gold, essentially, if you convert them into the same amount of stats. So being 2 levels above is actually a decent amount. I think it's about 800 gold, nearly, just in pure stats. So the gold lead is actually, I think, even further when you consider those level gaps.
We'll have to see how much they can make Mountain Soul count here. As it does also mean that Elder is on the spawn on 3 minutes as well, which is definitely a game ender if either team is able to secure that. So it does kind of put a bit of a clock on the game for one of the teams to do something.
I mean, it is interesting that both Baron and Elder Dragon are pretty much going to spawn at very similar times, just 20 seconds between. So it does mean if a team takes Baron, there will be enough time to get down to Elder Dragon as well.
Or it'll be kind of close, but it means the other team will have prior on it. It does depend.
Yeah, I mean, that could be a very interesting story for this game, though, if that's how it goes. The Invictus are going to try and push into the final turrets, the inhib turrets of Rune Kings. It's still relatively close, despite that, 9k gold lead in favour of the Invictus. Enix is going to try and look for this red buff. I think he can get it pretty easily. And he does manage to pick up that red buff, keeping it away from Jinx, who is able to use it very effectively with the amount of splash damage that she can produce. Aerostream might be looking for hands. He doesn't quite find anyone with that hook. Davis, unfortunately, the command shockwave does miss. I don't think anyone was caught by it. And we have the Invictus trying to just do any damage to these turrets, but aren't able to push through the very, very good wave clear of Rune Kings. They have such a great wave clear through Zareth, Morgana, and the Jinx. We see that Galungulate, with that top lane, Galungulate has backed, will be able to come back in for the next team fight. It is a minute now until both Baron Nashor and Elder Dragon spawn. A minute for Baron, a minute 20 for Elder Dragon.
Yeah, seeing Zareth pocket himself a nice little blue buff. Enix has his QSS as well now. He does eventually build that.
Yeah. Big pickup against Nautilus and Morgana. In fact, everyone on the side of Rune Kings. There's still a hefty shutdown on Enix's head, which could be key in these last couple of fights to finish off. Luke Caruana gets spotted by Ozinox. Ozinox has to be careful that he doesn't get stunned up and rooted. He is out of the range. Luke Caruana having to Zhonya's because he was otherwise going to get caught out. Does mean Ozinox doesn't get the reset on his E and had to flash out himself. And now we have just 13 seconds until Baron Nashor, just half a minute until Elder Dragon as well. Both teams posturing around this Elder Dragon now. Galungulate does have Shen ult. Does he have Shen ult? I can never tell.
Yes, he does. He does have Shen ult.
Yeah, okay. So Shen ult is there. Shen is actually going to be able to, I think, get inhib while this Elder Dragon is about to spawn. Elder Dragon has been started by Rune Kings. They are currently playing 5v3. Shen does have the TP, does have...
There we go for the shockwave.
Yeah, the command shockwave is down. Captain Fast is just going to tank as much.
Oh, stole it!
It's stolen by Ozinox. The Elder Dragon is stolen. And that is... MDiv is going to go down here, I think. Luke Caruana is going to go down. So I think this is just going to be... Oh my word! This is it. Hans is going to go down as well to Ozinox. Huge steal by Ozinox there, and that is
Where is he? Let's go, clear your crocs, woo!
That is game 1 to the Invictus. Wow. I mean, fantastic play by the Invictus. Ozinox, amazing to get that final, to get the steal on Elder Dragon, which was able to turn the game for the Invictus and Spitter. So I think if there does come an invade, it will probably be in favour of Rune Kings. But that's not to say, I mean, we have a Thresh with Ignite as well. You've got Nocturne, who in an extended team fight can do quite well, and a Shen who could get a huge taunt if Galungalate levels that first as well. So I think it's probably still Rune King's favoured, but I think it is still a risky invade if they go for it, and it does look like they are.
It looks like we might be able to see some action here early, as they are also stacked in the bush, but the numbers advantage is for Ruin Kings, as Glungly is not far up here. There might be some action. They're walking to the bush. Captain Flea going to get caught up, going to get the hook, but it's going to get dragged away by Aerostream, which means he can pick up the kill. Hans is going to jump onto Ozzy. Aining's able to get the heal out, which means he's able to keep Ozzy alive, and they're not able to lose anyone. Luke Caron is falling low. Taunt going to hit, land onto Feb, as he has to flash. Nico flash going forward, going to hit Feb. Luke Caron is able to get a Q onto the backline, able to flash over the wall and get away, but hook by Aeros over the wall means he's able to pick up Feb, but Nico falls in the backline as well. Luke Carona now also taking lots of damage, going to be able to walk away, but Garrett now in a bit of danger. Taunt going to be up soon. Enix going to be able to prop the lethal tempo gun. He's going to have to burn his flash. Glungly going to burn flash response over the wall and keep going.
And now we see the people who died early on in the fight have now respawned. Luckily, what an absolute fiesta that was. 3 kills going on for being Invictus. The first blood being drawn by Enix as well. So the gold advantage is definitely being Invictus. But what a start by both teams. What a weird start.
That's kind of a crazy start, to be honest. Oh my word. Look at how many summoners are burned.
Yeah, Dabis with it started that really well for being Invictus. I think it was 4-man route, and obviously with Nico, the route gets longer after it hits the first target. And I think that's what really swung the fight so heavily in favour of being Invictus early on.
Everyone played there was some really great little plays from everyone. I couldn't point them all out, but they're just going to land another hook onto Feb. Feb did burn their flash, so they do not have flash. Eris and Enix both have their flash up.
Yeah. Yeah, and there were some really good plays by absolutely everyone. As you said, Luke Harawana with some huge double skill shots landed there, able to pick up 1 in the back line onto, I think it was Ozynox in the back.
Eris landed some great hooks as well.
Yeah, 1 over the wall after a flash, picking up a kill for himself as well, which is always a fantastic one.
Yeah, that's what you want to see, really.
Yeah, some mad life plays early on.
Okay, Hans burning away the mid. Nico able to take a little bit of poke damage, but get away. Glungo is struggling here a lot more in the early against the Garen, it seems like, than he was beforehand.
Yeah, I do think it is a Garen favourite matchup, particularly earlier on, but Shen should be fine.
Not able to get anything, but they are now going to test Scuttle.
Yeah.
Ozzy might be out of position here.
Rubber
going to burn away, but might be able to get Hands. Fear onto the Hands, able to get... Oh, the shield's going to come through, but Ozzy is able to pick it up. Is he able to get Elway? Going to turn around, gone to Luke. Luke Caron is now low. Stabber's going to be able to pick this up. Not able to grab it just yet.
And considering that situation, Ozynox did well to come out essentially even in that trade, getting a kill. Obviously, he does lose out on the Scuttle, and unfortunately does lose the double buffs, but not too bad considering how out of position he was there.
Yeah, no, he was literally 3v1 and was able to pick up a kill. Unfortunately, he was still out of position, but then he was able to also make sure that the team had to back off and play slower towards Scuttle Crab because that Davos was there to maybe pick up any straddlers, but wasn't able to pick anyone up, unfortunately.
And now we see that Shen is able to just stop Garen dealing any damage there in his ring of, well, cuck, basically. No, you're not allowed to do anything.
It really is a bit harsh. Oh, Hook going to land onto it, Flame backwards, but it could be a little late. Hands coming from behind. Going to be onto Eris. The Flamethrower landing on Enix, but it would have been able to enough. Both going to burn their flashes that they still had up. Luke Caron does have a Q on Eris, but looks like he's not going to go for it. Just going to back up. Unfortunately, not able to get any kills, but able to burn 2 flashes in the bot lane. Now, Ozzy is here to maybe help. Ozzy able to call out a bit. Hands doing a lot of damage on this Rumble. Hook just going to go wide. Q also just going to go wide. This might be a first Mountain Drake for Ruin Kings for being able to, for this pressure that they just were able to put out onto the bot lane. But it did require 4 of their members for a bit.
Ozanox, I think, didn't realise he was standing on that pink ward in the bush there and was just able to get poked out pretty heavily by that rumble. And yeah, we do see the dragon going the side of Ruin Kings in the early stage of this game.
For sure. We see that bot pressure used. They may not have a gold lead, but they may not have a gold lead, but they were like able to still create advantage where they needed to create advantage, right? Like they were to put pressure on bot, get that dragon, and make sure that they start stacking these drakes nice and early so that they can push a win condition.
Yeah, we're seeing again a sizable CS lead for Dabis in that mid lane, 45 to 28 currently. And Hans getting poked out already again, and that CS lead I think is going to increase even further.
Yeah, we also saw Hans he roamed a lot, so that meant that he's actually down on level a bit, and also does not have the same CS because he was roaming a lot more down to those bot plays and stuff, which has meant that Dabis is able to get decent lead in this mid lane.
Yeah, and despite roaming so heavily, is only a single assist up in terms of his KDA, so definitely not where he wants it to be at this stage.
No, we will be seeing lethality serrated dirt picked up for Lee Sin. I wonder what item he's thinking of going.
Possibly Eclipse, do you think?
Yeah, it could be Eclipse. I think Eclipse is probably the one he's probably going to go for. That's the most commonly picked one. Yeah. I don't know what's more common. Is it that or Gore Drinker nowadays? Oh, talking about land onto Endib, and he almost is falling. As I talked about before, Glunglade very aggressive on the shed, taking a lot of trades in lane, and now actually has a sizable CS lead over, or small, not sizable, a decent CS lead over his opponent.
And I think the big pickup there is the Bramble Vest, the essential oils there, and it just means that Garen, even as soon as he autos to get the trade started, is at a disadvantage. So that's I think the best early game pickup Shen can do against the Garen here.
Yeah, he's full build. He built Bramble Vest.
Yeah. ADC mains cry at
Sad.
that item.
Stabber might be careful here. Look, Karana is going to come in. Oh, goes on. Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, my word. Dab is able to get... This is huge. Dab is playing meta, using the clone effectively, and able to pick up Rumble on the crackback. And oh, my word. That is so unfortunate for Luke Caruana. The Nico clone baiting Luke Caruana to Q and flash on it. And then when it goes, he's just stood there, unable, knowing what to do. And Dabis just loses the ult, locks them down, and is able to pick them both up in a wonderful Nico play.
This is what I meant. Nico, if you play Nico correctly, you can do some utterly insane plays, and it's a 50-50 for Lee Sin there. Luke unfortunately choosing the wrong option and paying for it dearly, but what a play by Dabis there. Huge misdirection play, able to get a solo double kill. Fantastic play. Yeah,
it was crazy. It was the fact that Luke Caruana committed so hard for the play as well. He flashed for it. It wasn't even just that. And the hook and the land and Nocturne are going to come through as well. And that's just another pick. Great use of the teamwork from Eris and Ozzy there, being able to just get a hook and land Nocturne and immediately catch off Hans, who is 0-3 now in the Rumble.
Yeah. And, I mean, like you said, there was so much used by the Lee Sin there. I think the flash used, the Dragon's Rage as well, the ultimate used on the clone of all things, I'm pretty sure. It's just so unfortunate for Luke Caruana there. But that kill on Hans in the mid lane via Nocturne. It just means that the CS lead is even bigger now, 83 to 48, and the turret platings will start to follow soon, I'm sure, as well.
Yeah, we'll be having to see now as the next dragon is only 45 seconds away, so you might be seeing them positioning to play around this. Mdip's going to take some trades of Glunglade in top, but Glunglade looks like he can take them at his will now, as he is able to trade back decently, especially with, as you mentioned, this 4-mail.
Yeah, the Bramble Vest plus the burn from Sunfire. Just so much magic damage, even with the Mercury Treads picked up by MDib, just burning away to that magic damage from the Shen.
Yeah, for sure. We're seeing as well, maybe Dabber's quite on the mid lane. This time they are going to land on the right one. Eris is here to back him up. EQ ult going to land. Han's able to drop his ult and flash out just before he lands. Able to get a bit of more damage. Luke Carolina going back in on the thresh, able to pick him up, but Ozzy is here to follow up. And wonderful 2-for-1 in the mid lane. Also, the jungler down, which means that Invictus is able to get another Ocean Drake, well, their first Drake actually, for free.
Yeah, and there is no way that Ruin King can contest for this at all. Glunglet has to be a little bit careful here in this trade. Ooh.
That was a crazy team fight.
Yeah, I mean,
well, wait, it was a 2v2. It was really a 2v2, but like it was great use of landing the root, and also Hans being able to flash out there, even though it didn't end up perfect for him. Being able to flash out there and just live that extra bit longer and use the shields to get that extra damage off on the Rumble was kind of huge. It meant that Nico would pop super low, and Luke Carolina was able to hit another Q on the backline and pick up at least a kill for his team.
Yeah, and look at that, 4-1 already on the Nico, 40 CS up, just under 40 CS up in that mid lane. That's a huge gold advantage right now for Invictus on one of the key carries in this game.
For sure, this is huge for them in this mid game.
You also think though as well, that without the damage of the Rumble ult, I mean 0-4. Oh, sorry.
Okay, no, it looks like Ian's getting caught out. Captain Fast can use the ult, and Ian's not going to drop just yet, but Eris is going to sacrifice his life for him. Glungate now on the front line. Going to have to back off it. Luke Carolina does hit the Q. He's not going to go back in, even though he does turn around and Luke wants to a little, but obviously he's here to make a backup.
Yeah, without the Nico damage, suddenly Invictus don't look quite as strong. Osmox has to be careful as well.
Oh god, he really wants to...
Really going hard.
He really wants that ward.
Yeah, Stride Breaker coming clutch to avoid the Nautilus hook.
Yeah, it looks like this. At least a lot of players going to go down bot lane. TP is coming through from Nico. We're going to have to see what happens here. TP also coming down from top lane. A big 3-man. Oh, going to land. Going to get another 2-man root and get the Q Pop Blossom onto it. But just Ozzy's going to fall. And Hans is super low health and Captain Fast as well. But no one eventually falls. And there is a 1-for-0 for Ruin King so far in case no kills come through. Hans so low, but just not dropping.
Yeah. I mean, that was a really interesting idea from Invictus, using the invisibility of Nocturne to try and shroud the Nico teleporting in, like exactly where and how she was going to use her ultimate play there. Nearly getting getting 3-man in that ultimate. Not quite enough to pick up any kills, unfortunately, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, just not able to get any kills. But nice idea. Unfortunately, falling a little short, but still have a decent lead, especially in the mid lane, a big lead, bro. So
we should see another turret plating going the way of Invictus.
Oh, damn, look at that. Look at this poke damage coming out from Davis in the mid lane, dropping it on Hands, and he has to base again. He is 3 levels behind. Oh my word. I'm going to drop the ult even to try and clear the wave, but even that went a little bit wide and has to come back and clear the minion wave, and he is really low. Yeah,
I mean, when you give a Nico, 40 CS up now? Phoenix has to be a little bit careful.
Has to be pretty careful there. Captain Fast does get chunked out a bit and does take a tower shot.
Yeah, Nort did have ult at that point as well. Surprised that Captain Fast kept that, I think.
Maybe a bit of nerves after the first game. So I talked about mental swing maybe as well coming into effect, but we'll have to see if they can keep it together, or if he just maybe didn't know he had ult, you know, something like that.
Yeah, you never know. And so the next objectives, there's a minute and a half until the next dragon, and Rift Herald is currently up as well. I wonder if we'll see a Rift Herald taken in this game.
A lot of pings
Still
coming down.
6 minutes.
Looks like Can's going to look for Erison maybe. Is Enix able to get out? He doesn't have flash. He's going to use the lantern. Q does land, but it looks like he won't be able to go in for it. They're going to try and get this bottom tower. There's not much that Enix and Eris can do on their own against a 2v4, but Dabus is coming down as well. They do have a control ward in that bush, so they'll know the hook just doesn't land onto Enix. And it looks like we're looking back up to the top lane as they take the first turret down in bot lane, as they now all back off and maybe go for get some vision around the Drake that is up in about 40 seconds.
I think that's a very smart play by Rune Kings.
Oh.
Go to the lane with the least advantage.
Just missing the Q going wide, and the hook just going to land, but it's into Thresh's box. Nocturne going in, going to get Captain Fast down. The big rumble means they're not able to get into there, but Lee Sin is caught off on his own. Enix and Ozzy able to do decent damage onto him. The snipe going to land, he's going to get feared and backed off, and now Hans is caught in the middle. Going to get Everfrost and Cute over the wall. Dabus is now chasing down Feb, going to flash to get the ult onto it, and it looks like Feb might just fall as well. Galungalate going to pick up Feb 14th on the Jinx, and it looks like a 4-for-1 for the side of the Invictus.
And I said previously, in the previous game, Rune Kings staying just too long in the Invictus's jungle, and again they overstay for way too long. They had got what they wanted. They had got the first turret. Surely at that point you back out, you reset for Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, I can see what kind of play they were going for. If you looked at the what they were doing, they were sat in the bush and they were planning on like getting Eris. If he, as we speak of Eris now, is maybe if he can land a hook on MDib here, gonna land the flay to get into the hook to guarantee it, and gonna look for some trades on here, and maybe got taunt up afterwards, but not gonna go for it, as Luke Corona is coming from behind, gonna land the Q onto Eris, gonna flay him back so he can't get the insect on him, gonna have to flash away for Eris. It looks like he's gonna land the Q onto MDib, as Dabus does come up, the taunt gonna land, it means that Dabus gets his Eva free, and it looks like they pick up another one for Dabus, who is 6-1 on this Nico now.
Yeah. What I've noticed is, finally, Captain Fast going in on Enix, and this could be Enix having his first death of the game.
But it looks like Ozzy is able to follow up onto the Jinx on the tower, and it's able to just pick her up as she's caught up from the Nautilus, as Nautilus is also now caught up from Eris, as they were just coming down from the top lane, overextending a little bit there maybe. The Q hook going to be blocked by Eris, meaning that Dabus... Oh, okay, Captain Fast got some fast feet here as he's trying to get away, but can he, as it does look like he's going to fall to Eris, who lands the hook for the kill, and now maybe they're looking for a little bit more Galungalate over the wall, maybe looking to catch Luke as he tries to escape. Oh, catches him on the end of the taunt. Okay, the stopwatch coming in. He lives a little bit longer. Gonna get a ward hop out.
The thing that the Invictus have is global pressure and global ability to just roam around the map absolutely freely. You've seen that Captain Vast has stayed very fast to the Jinx, whereas you have Eris roaming literally the complete other side of the map multiple times now. And with the globals of Shen and
looks like Han's going to go behind here on Dabus. As Dabus has no mana here, not able to do much. Inix just has to get away. Going to use the ult and to get a bit of damage off, but Han's able to get out of there. Inix might need to back off for himself because he is alone. Eris has some coming pings. Maybe the Lantern's able to get him out, but a nice pickup on Dabus and a big shutdown going towards Jinx of all people. 600 gold, nice in for Feb's pocket. Is not going to be something that you want to hear.
Yeah. But even though Rune Kings are making decent trades at this point, the problem is being Invictus, they're able to capitalize on the Rune Kings trades and go, right, well, if you're going to make something mid lane, we're going to collapse on you and get 2 kills for the one you just got.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like they're going Rift out here.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be completely uncontested. Smart choice while Davis was respawning.
Maybe some Diva here. Eris does stand on her, but it looks like he probably won't go into it. Okay, the box is burned as MDib does Gale Force? No, Stride Breaker forward. That one.
Yeah, with all the mobility creep, it's no wonder we can't remember which ones are which.
Just seeing both teams playing a bit aggressively onto each other, both maybe looking for a fight. There's not a huge goal difference between the teams, so team fights could for sure go either way right now, even if it is slightly being Victor's favoured. I feel like the next Drake is in a minute 40. Baron's up in 40 seconds though, so maybe we could see a Baron play before then if either team feels strong enough.
Yeah. And I think the big thing is though just how far behind the Rumble is right now. Full item behind currently. And that is really, really big when you think just how pivotal both Nico and Rumble are in the team fights for their respective teams.
Yeah, for sure. Dabus has had a lead this whole game, basically. The roams for Hans not working out early meant that he wasn't able to get that lead that he needed from him.
Yeah. So I think everyone will have their ults up. Almost everyone with full summoners as well, or pretty much nearly full sums.
Yeah, looks like
And
we
this-
will see at least Aussie looking maybe to come down here for this Drake. Okay, hook gonna land onto the Thresh and just go in. The equalizer gonna mean he's threshing pretty deep. Not as caught off alone, but is able to keep them off just so they're able to pick up Eris. Aussie does do tons of damage on Lee Sin, able to make him drop big. Everfrost's gonna land. Nico Ult gonna root down M-Dib as big damage is coming out from the backline. Nico Ult gonna land onto M-Dib and Thing. Feb is now running away. Is he able to get out? But it looks like it might be a slight win for the side of being Invictus, as it is a 2-for-3 for the side of being Invictus right now.
And more importantly, the dragon is going to be up in just 5 seconds now. It will be spawning almost instantly. Garen obviously able to regen a lot of health, particularly with that red buff, so will be able to re-engage if he wants to try for that 3v1 steal.
I mean, yeah, even Garen passive as well, right? Just heals him.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it's the right play. Just leave the dragon. You're not going to get it. You don't have the smite. Well, neither team have the smite, but you're not going to get in quickly enough there.
Era's looking around to clear some vision. Not able to find one right now. What do you think? What do you think of the ranking should be doing right now to alleviate a lot of this pressure that they're probably feeling from these fights? Because being Invictus, even if it was slight leads in the fights, they have tend to come out of them with slight advantages. So what do you think being Invictus need to be doing? I mean, rankings need to be doing a bit differently that they're currently maybe not doing.
I think they need to just focus as much as they can on Dabis. If they can ult Dabis out of the fight, Lee Sin kick into their own team, and it's risky because obviously Dabis could just ult with that. As we see, both
gonna
teams,
land.
Yeah, both teams hooks lands, ults are flying everywhere. I think that's actually a bit of a win for being Invictus, considering less ults were used for them.
Yeah, they burned no odds on their side. Equalizer was burned for the side of Ruin Kings, but looks like both teams just committing to a bit of an A-ram here. Rift Tower is going to be summoned. You can see maybe now they were trying to get that first time down maybe beforehand, but weren't able to get it. Aussie gonna block the Nautilus Hook with Spell Shield. Ult gonna be used onto Enix as Luke Curran goes in tower, maybe a bit too early before aggro was towered. Dabis now catching off Rumble on the backline, flashes away, but Aussie is there to follow up, able to pick it up. Nautilus Hook does land onto Enix, but it might be a little too late. The rest of the team is not there to follow up. Feb just falls as well as Captain Fleet also falls, and MDib shows up, and he's like, no way I'm going in. A 1v5 there. The rest of the team is down, and that is a great team fight win for the side of being Invictus. So now, even posing to do Baron.
I have to admit, I just think that Ruin Kings, as you said, that maybe they're a bit nervous in their plays, but we see Luke, it's just very disjointed. Luke Caruana going in way too early on his jump. Nautilus was not under turret, was not able to tank that for the Lee Sin. And you suddenly have a Lee Sin under turret who is not going to tank build, easily getting picked off. Once you've got that, Garen was not in the fight at all. It was essentially a 5v3 very, very quickly. Rumble out on the side as well, kind of in no man's land. Ruin Kings, they're just not playing the fights how they need to. They're playing way too scattershot, really, with these fights when they've got such a clear goal. It's use the Rumble ult within the Nautilus CC, have Garen standing in it as well, keeping everyone within that tight corridors. But they're just trying to ARAM it, which I think really favours the team of being Invictus, where you've got Nico and Kog'Maw just poking them out, and eventually the Thresh Hook coming in, and then suddenly you've got Shen and Nocturne ulting your backline. I think Ruin Kings need to look at how they're playing these fights a lot more carefully.
Yeah, we're seeing right now that both teams are kind of resetting a bit, getting a bit of their gold spent, and making sure that they're ready for these next team fights coming up. The next objective we do have is Dragon, but it's not for 130 still, and being Invictus are certainly going to be trying to make use of their Baron buff to push out these lanes so that they can get control around them up for these next objectives.
And it's... Do you really see a way for Ruin Kings to win some of these fights, considering how heavily they're taking these losses now?
I think it's definitely it's much harder for them to do so now, as this cannon minion is not going to take the tower, so it does stay up for now. But I think it's possible if you can get these dream situation ults they're talking about, or get a pick. Jinx is doing a lot of damage as well, I feel, and Lee Sin is quite a few levels behind. But if he can kick someone out of position, for example Enix or Dabis out of position, as you mentioned, into a rumble or something like that, or get the execute, maybe it could be a big turn for them. But you see, being Invictus, bush camping a little here, trying to see if they can pick someone off, but Ruin King's knowing better and backing off and just going, alright, we'll reset. We don't know where they are. They could be anywhere. We don't need to play for anything just yet. Just getting a reset before Drake, and now looking to set up for it.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like it's going to be dropped onto Hans here in the bottom as he tries to get that bot wave. Ozzy is just onto him, and it's basically a solo kill. Eris comes and takes it with a one-bop auto attack from Thresh, but almost basically a solo kill for Ozzy in the bot lane onto Hans as he is too pushed up when he knows that the enemy team will be positioning around Drake.
And what's really important is that means no Rumble ult, which is pretty much the main kind of CC and slow. And
now even Captain Fast is caught on his own, getting caught by Nico Root and a Aussie Fear. Yeah, well, a Nocturne Fear. And just meaning they get another pick, playing very disjointed here. Now Garen is all alone as well, as Jinx and as Lee Sin are off in the top river. This is very disjointed play from Ruin Kings right now. Maybe feeling the nerves a bit as they know that this is their last game to secure it. As they dropped the first game.
Yeah, and I feel like we're seeing a Thresh with rapid fire cannon. Honestly, Eris, his autos are really hurting.
Okay, nice play coming out, but Eris is going to land the hook, which just seals Luke Caruana's fate. He tries to make a play. He tries to make something work for the team, but Eris is there to back Dabis up to make sure that he doesn't fall.
We do, however, see him land an insec on the correct Nico, which you've got to give it to.
He did it. He did do it, but it just didn't amount to anything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
We do see an insect in this game, so, you know.
He got one earlier. It was just on the wrong Nico.
Yeah, it's just on the clone. So it fizzled instantly. But, I mean, that was at the very least what he meant to do the first time, and fair play to him, even though it didn't really work out.
Alright, so we want to see how Invictus are able to close out the game here, which is probably what they're looking to do soon. Elder is up in 5 minutes if they feel confident around that, but if that gets stolen, as we saw in like the last game, it can really seal a team's fate. So maybe even they want to close it, try and push their advantages and get more pressure into their base before this Elder Dragon.
We haven't really talked about it, but that was Cloud Soul taken. And Cloud Soul, that's 3, so I think 30 ability haste on ultimates there. So for someone like a Nocturne, Ruin Kings will just have their map almost permanently
Shen ult as well,
blacked.
Nico ult as well. It's pretty good.
The movement speed on the Nico. Enix is a little bit out of position here, has to be careful.
He's going to Gale Force away. And it looks like Ozzy is going to go in onto the team, but Dabis able to get into the backline, able to jump onto MDib and Captain, but Galungale is dropping Lee Sin and Jinx in the backline. It's just 3v5 right now. Garen's able to get the shutdown onto Dabis, try and follow up onto Enix onto the backline, but just not able to catch up as Galungale is still full health in this fight, not even dropping any HP, and able to just clean up the team and maybe push here to try and... Can they end? Or do you think they don't have time? I don't think they have time.
I think they can. I mean, they can definitely get at least 3 turrets. I think ending maybe just out of reach. But this is on the brink now. This is Ruin Kings are absolutely on the ledge. Any more mistakes, and the game is being Invictus at this point. Yeah, they won't be able to end, but they do get a turret and an inhib here. Possibly Shen even being able to push for another turret in the bot lane. Or they already deal a huge amount of damage. I mean, he does have Titanic Hydra, so that turret is going to be taking a decent amount of damage.
Yeah, it's just, if we're talking about levels, Luke Caruana and Hans are level 12. Their Jinx is level 14. And not to mention that Dabis and Ozzy, in respective on the opposite sides, are 3 and 4 levels ahead. This is really, it means much more, as you mentioned, than the gold difference there. They're just able to not... they're just really behind in numbers more than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, when your jungler is a level behind the opponent's ADC, and 3 levels behind Galungulate and Davis in the mid lane. I mean, there's just so much pure stat advantage that the Invictus are taking the Baron and not even caring that everyone is up right now, because they just know that they have the ability to turn.
They're just sneaking this. They don't know anything. Oh, they might have a clue now. They might have an inkling. They're looking. They got the Jinx Rocket onto it. Davis is going to get the big root up, but okay, Eris is going to fall over the wall. Rumble coming through as well. Lee Sin over on the wall, trying to finish with the Baron, but just gets sniped out and not even able to answer back. This Baron is just taken, to pick up 2 kills along the way, and this is looking like it could be very dangerous for them in the game for Ruin Kings here. Hans is trying to get something onto Davis, but Davis able to just get away. Eris walks a bit far forward, does get caught off, but now Hans has dropped as well. Galungulate flashing in, able to lock down Feb and deal lots of damage onto them. Blast Cone just back into the loving arms of Shen and dropping. It looks like this is just going to be the game.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 people. They all have Baron buff, actually. I didn't realise they still had it.
Yeah, they still got Baron buff.
That is game. The Invictus, we underestimated them for sure. That is going to be game. Ed has already left. He doesn't want to be part of this. They're Ruin Kings are going to try and fight the final ones.
Able to just pick up Aussie, just picking up a few kills here, just pad the stats, and that looks like the spectator bug. So it does look like it was a B Invictus 2-0 coming out.